Parents, I want to remind you that we are doing spring 2011. So some children are coming in with other dates. I would like us all to do the same one so I can quickly check their work. Most games, most levels are very similar, most years are similar, but we're on spring 2011, please remember that. Okay. So now I'm beginning lesson 1. I'm just going to write in a large capital C so that the children see all music is in capital letters, and very neat printing. I put it in black pen, but all your work is going to be done in pencil. The same thing over here, write the musical alphabet going up. So the next would be B, and I won't continue, you will. A staff has, count the lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there are how many spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 lines, 4 spaces. Now you're going to print the name of these notes on the line below and look at the clef sign. Do notice you have a treble clef. So remember your lines in the treble clef and your spaces. First the spaces, F, A, C, E. So you would write F. E, G, B, D, F. So you would figure out what the letter name is, all in capital letters. Over here now we have the bass clef. And I will show you one time this paper here that most of the children have. It's the grand staff, and it has all the names and the lines of the lines and spaces starting from 2 C's down to 2 C's up. So they may use this paper. I would really love it if they could memorize the names of their lines and spaces, even in the bass clef, especially if they're getting toward the end of packet 2 and starting to read packet 3. So here we have bass clef. The lines are G, B, D, F, A. G, B, D, F, A. Spaces are A, C, E, G. Ace, G. So keep saying that to yourself. And parents, it would be a good idea to ask them from time to time to name the lines and the spaces in both treble clef and bass clef. Now, this page 2, actually, I printed page 1 incorrectly, but if you would have page 1 and 2 on one paper, page 3 and 4 on another paper. So now we're going to page 2. Now it says draw a whole note on the staff and look at the clef sign. Again, we're in the treble clef. If they say D, now some of you know that D is here and D is also on the 4th line. Let me show you here. Can you see this, Perry? D here or D here. But since they want it on the lines or the spaces, we'll put the D right here. A nice whole note with the line going through the middle of the note. C is on the space. E could be on the line or the space. B is on the line. G is on the line. Now look at bass clef here. Again, if you don't know the names of the bass clef lines and spaces, please use this paper. If you don't have this paper, please ask me for one. It's never too late to get started on reading the grand staff. So here we have a whole note. So A would be in the bottom space. F, you have to depend now. A, C, E, G is not a space. F is not a space. So G, B, D, F. So it would be on this 4th line. All right, now here we have some theory symbols that you have been studying since your very first lesson when you learned hot cross buns. All these signs and symbols are in packet 1 on the back of the policy sheet. So I'm not going to drill that. So quickly, quarter rest, quarter note, double bar line, treble clef, whole note, whole rest. Okay. Now, here we come to something that I've been explaining to many children this week. And children, I ask you to, if you're on book 2, packet 2 or 3, please look at some of your notes, because you never noticed how to make stems or what the stem rule is. So they want a half note. I'm going to ask you, whenever they want you to prove stems, I'm going to ask you to do a low note and a high note so that you'll have a chance to do both kinds of stems. So here's a whole half note, and remember we talked about the stem, so I put one on space 1, F. It has to go an octave high, so it's going to go all the way up to the F line. That's what the stems are. So I'll make one. And now we could do a note above so that you have a stem coming down. And one more time I'll mention that B, the stem can go up or down. Everything below the B, the stems go up like this. Anything below the B line, B can go either way. After you pass the B line and say I'll put the half note, first I make my note head, and then the stem will come down on the left side of the note head. So it looks like a P. I'll go ahead. I'm going to go from D all the way down to the D space, which is right there. That's a D. So that's where you stop your stem. And please make your stems very nice and straight. In this case, you only have to make a whole note, so you don't need stems. In this, I would like a low note, quarter note, anywhere below B line. And sometimes you could do a B and make the stems going each way if you want to. Okay? Alright, we're going to go on. Now, write the number of beats. So, again, if you don't know this, let's just review. Quarter note is worth 1 beat, especially when we're in 4/4 time, or 2/4 time, or 3/4 time. The top number tells us how many beats in a measure, so 4 beats in a measure. The bottom number tells us which note will get 1 beat. So 4 represents the quarter note. So quarter note right here equals 1 beat. This is a whole rest, I hope you know that. So the quarter note is 1 beat, the half note is 2 beats, and the whole note is 4 beats. If you need to ask me about that again, I'll be happy to repeat that at your lesson, but try to start remembering that in any time signature that has 4 on the bottom, the quarter note equals 1 beat, half note equals 2 beats, whole note equals 4 beats. If I have a half note and a dot, the dot means add 1 more beat to 2 beats. So a dotted half equals 2 beats. Here we have a half note, so your answer is 2 beats. But if it had a dot after it, it would be 3 beats. The reason is the dot is worth half of the note it's worth, or that it's with. So the half note is 2 beats, so half of 2 is 1, so that's why the dot is worth 1. Here is a rest, and you've seen this in the bingo game that we played, and also check your policy sheet on the back. It looks like a hat, it's a half rest, and so that's 2 beats. This is a quarter rest, 1 beat, and whole note equals 4 beats. I hope you said that before I did. I'm going to go to page 3.